In 2025, it's more important than ever to understand the value of keeping certain things private. In a world that is constantly connected, we often feel the pressure to share everything, but some things are better kept to ourselves. We have to understand that not everything needs to be exposed to the world. Your peace of mind, your vision, your power, they are sacred. You see, when you start sharing too much, you can lose control. People will try to define you, to limit you, but you have the power to define your own path. In 2025, one of the most important things we need to learn is the value of keeping our personal goals and dreams private. In an age where we are constantly sharing our lives on social media and among friends and colleagues, the urge to announce our ambitions can feel overwhelming. However, there is an undeniable power in keeping our dreams close to our hearts and allowing them to grow in private. By doing this, we not only protect our dreams from the negativity and doubts of others, but we also create the space for them to flourish on our own terms. When we share our goals with others, especially early on, we risk exposing them to skepticism, judgment, and sometimes even ridicule. People who may not understand or support our dreams could offer unsolicited advice or negative comments. These opinions can be disheartening and in some cases cause us to second-guess ourselves or abandon our goals altogether. It's easy to become discouraged when others express doubt, and it can be even more damaging when those closest to us do so. Keeping our personal goals private means we are shielded from this kind of external influence. We protect ourselves from the discouragement that others may unintentionally impose, and we give our goals the room they need to develop without the pressure of seeking approval or validation. But the risk of sharing our goals isn't limited to negative feedback. When we announce our ambitions too early, we also risk inviting unnecessary competition or comparison. In today's world, it's common for people to measure their success against others, constantly seeking validation through comparison. If we share our goals prematurely, we might invite others to compare their progress to ours, leading to unhealthy competition or feelings of inadequacy. The energy spent on comparison can detract from the focus and dedication we need to put into making our dreams a reality. Keeping our personal goals private allows us to avoid this unnecessary distraction and keeps our attention where it needs to be on the journey ahead. There is a unique power that comes from nurturing our dreams in silence. When we keep our ambitions to ourselves, we have the freedom to experiment, make mistakes, and learn without the weight of others' expectations. There's something empowering about the process of working in the background, developing our goals at our own pace. The quiet dedication to our purpose gives us the chance to refine our vision, adjust our plans, and build momentum without the pressure of outside opinions. This process of growth and refinement becomes our own personal, untainted, entirely ours to control. Keeping our goals private helps us to stay focused and motivated. Often when we share our goals with others, we may find ourselves preoccupied with answering questions about our progress or explaining why we haven't achieved something yet. People might ask us how it's going when we expect to succeed or whether we're sure it's even possible. These well-meaning questions can become distractions that take our attention away from the work at hand. When we keep our goals to ourselves, we can focus all of our energy on execution rather than just talking about what we want to do. The process of working toward our dreams becomes more about personal fulfillment and less about the external validation that can so easily derail our focus. It's important to remember that not everyone needs to know our plans for success. In fact, there is wisdom in holding some things back, because not everyone will understand or support our vision. People who are unfamiliar with our dreams or our capabilities might offer advice based on their own limited understanding. They might doubt our ability to achieve what we've set out to do. And if we allow those doubts to seep in, we risk losing confidence in ourselves. When we keep our goals private, we are free to believe in our potential without the interference of others' perceptions. By keeping our goals and dreams private, we allow space for surprises, unpredictable, and sometimes the path to success is not a straight line. There will be moments of uncertainty, unexpected challenges, and unforeseen opportunities. If we've already shared our goals, we may feel the need to justify every twist and turn, or worse, explain away setbacks that are an inevitable part of any journey. By keeping our goals private, we can embrace the uncertainty of the process and remain adaptable. The element of surprise becomes part of the adventure, and we are less likely to feel the need to account for every step we take along the way. There is also a deep sense of self-respect that comes with keeping our goals private. When we keep our dreams to ourselves, we are declaring that they are worthy of our focus and energy. We are choosing to give them the attention they deserve without needing external approval or recognition. This respect for our own aspirations allows us to be more deliberate in our choices, knowing that the work we are doing is building towards something meaningful to us. The decision to keep our personal goals and dreams private is about safeguarding our power and protecting the integrity of our vision. It's about giving ourselves the time and space to grow without the interference of others' doubts or expectations. When we protect our dreams, we allow them to develop in their own time and on our own terms, leading us closer to success and fulfillment. As we move into 2025, let's remember that some of the most powerful and transformative things we do in life are the ones we keep to ourselves until they're ready to be shared with the world. In 2025, one of the most critical lessons we must learn is the importance of keeping our challenges and struggles private. It's all too easy to get caught up in the habit of sharing every difficulty we face with others, whether it's a personal setback, a professional roadblock, or a moment of doubt. We live in a world where oversharing has become the norm, especially with the advent of social media. However, there is a quiet strength in keeping our struggles to ourselves, a strength that can propel us forward in ways we may not immediately realize. When we choose to protect our struggles and face them in solitude, we give ourselves the opportunity to work through them without the weight of external judgment or interference. The first thing we must recognize is that sharing our struggles with others often opens the door to unsolicited advice, opinions, and sometimes criticism. While some of these may be well-meaning, others can be more harmful than helpful. When people offer their views on what we should do or how we should act, they are often speaking from their own experiences and perspectives. But these perspectives may not apply to our unique circumstances. Sometimes these suggestions come from a place of insecurity or jealousy. And instead of helping us, they can create confusion and doubt. This is especially true when our struggles are deeply personal and we expose them to others who may not fully understand or appreciate the gravity of the situation. When we share our challenges, we run the risk of being vulnerable in ways that can lead to exploitation. There will always be individuals who will use your struggles to manipulate or control you. By revealing our vulnerabilities, we invite others to judge, criticize, or even take advantage of them. We may find ourselves caught in a web of sympathy or pity where people start defining us by our struggles rather than seeing us for who we truly are and what we are capable of. Keeping our challenges private protects us from becoming the subject of other people's perceptions, which can often be skewed or limited. Another key aspect of keeping our struggles private is the opportunity it provides for personal reflection and growth. When we face difficulties, the natural instinct may be to reach out for support or validation. However, some of the greatest growth comes from navigating challenges alone. It's in the quiet moments of reflection that we gain clarity and insight into the situation at hand. The act of working through our struggles without external influence allows us to tap into our inner strength, our creativity, and our resilience. We begin to develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, of what we're capable of, and how we can approach future obstacles with more confidence and poise. This sense of self-reliance is empowering. When we face struggles in private, we take ownership of our own journey. We are not waiting for someone else to fix our problems, nor are we relying on others to validate our pain. Instead, we are acknowledging that we have the tools within us to overcome whatever comes our way. In doing so, we strengthen our sense of independence and self-worth. We learn that no matter how difficult the challenge may be, we are capable of finding our way through it without the need for constant reassurance from others. There is also a sense of peace that comes with keeping our struggles to ourselves. Constantly talking about our challenges can sometimes keep us stuck in the problem as it shifts the focus from finding solutions to dwelling on the difficulties. The more we speak about our struggles, the more we bring them into our reality. In contrast, when we keep our challenges private, we are better able to focus on finding solutions rather than reaching the problem over and over again. This shift in focus is powerful. It allows us to move forward rather than remain trapped in a cycle of negativity. It gives us the freedom to heal, grow, and find new perspectives that might not be apparent when we're constantly sharing the pain with others. Another reason to keep our struggles private is the role of timing in personal growth. Not every challenge is meant to be shared right away. Sometimes we need time to process what's happening before we can explain it to others. We may need space to understand the lessons the struggle is teaching us, to make sense of the emotions it stirs up, and to develop the strength to face it head on. By keeping our struggles private, we allow ourselves the time to heal and make sense of the situation at our own pace without the pressure of having to explain ourselves or seek approval from others. When we keep our struggles private, we reduce the chances of attracting negative energy or judgment. We all know that there are people who thrive on drama or who will judge others for their misfortunes. By keeping our struggles to ourselves, we avoid opening the door to this kind of negativity. We protect ourselves from being weighed down by other people's opinions or criticisms, which can often feel like an added burden during an already difficult time. Keeping our challenges private can also preserve our sense of dignity and strength. It's easy to feel exposed or vulnerable when we share our problems with the world, especially when those struggles are deeply personal or difficult to face. By keeping them private, we maintain a sense of pride in our ability to handle life's obstacles. But we don't need to broadcast every hardship we face to prove our worth or our humanity. In fact, the ability to deal with struggles quietly and with grace is one of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves. It allows us to maintain our integrity and composure even in the face of adversity. In a world that often encourages oversharing and vulnerability for the sake of connection, we must remember that there is strength in silence. There is power in dealing with our challenges privately, protecting ourselves from negativity, and allowing our inner strength to guide us through difficult times. In 2025, let's embrace the quiet wisdom of keeping our struggles to ourselves and trusting that what it takes to face them, rise above them, and emerge stronger than ever. In 2025, one of the most essential aspects of living a fulfilling and empowered life is the decision to keep our relationships and personal life private. In a time when oversharing has become almost a cultural norm, especially through social media, we are often pushed to reveal the most intimate aspects of our lives to others. However, there is immense value in protecting the sanctity of our relationships and allowing them to exist without the influence of external opinions and scrutiny. By keeping our relationships private, we safeguard the intimacy, trust, and strength of these connections, and we allow them to grow and thrive in a space free from judgment or unnecessary influence. The first reason why keeping relationships private is so important is the preservation of intimacy and trust. Every relationship, whether it's a romantic partnership, a close friendship, or even a family connection, is built on a foundation of trust. This trust is not only about being open with each other, but also about respecting the boundaries that keep the relationship sacred. When we expose our relationship to the public, whether it's through social media posts or by discussing personal matters with others, we risk breaching this trust. Those private moments, conversations, and feelings that should be shared only between two people become exposed to the opinions of outsiders. The intimate connection we share can be diminished when it is subjected to the scrutiny of others who may not fully understand the dynamics of the relationship. Keeping our personal life private helps us protect the trust that is at the heart of every meaningful relationship. When we make our relationships public, we invite outside opinions and judgment. Everyone has their own views on what makes a relationship successful or healthy, and not all of these views align with our own. If we share the ups and downs of our relationships with others, we open the door for unsolicited advice and criticisms, which can put unnecessary pressure on us. This can be particularly harmful when others don't have a full understanding of the complexities of our relationship. A casual remark or a comment from someone who doesn't know the full context can create doubt or insecurity. By keeping our relationships private, we eliminate this external influence, allowing the people involved to navigate the relationship based on their values, preferences, and understanding, rather than based on the expectations or opinions of others. In addition to protecting our relationships from outside judgment, privacy also fosters a sense of independence. Relationships can sometimes become codependent when too many outside parties are involved in the decision-making process. Whether it's through constant questioning from friends or family or an overshare on social media, when we make our relationships public, we risk allowing others to have a say in how we operate within that dynamic. Keeping our personal life private ensures that we are the ones making the decisions, setting the boundaries, and solving the challenges that come with any relationship. This independence strengthens the bond we share with our loved ones, as we are not distracted by outside influences, but instead focus on building a partnership or connection that is uniquely our own. Privacy in relationships allows us the freedom to experience the full spectrum of emotions without the pressure to perform for an audience. Relationships, especially intimate ones, are not always perfect. There will be disagreements, misunderstandings, and moments of vulnerability that require time and space to process. When we publicly air our grievances or struggles, we can feel pressure to conform to a specific image of happiness or success that others might expect. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy or frustration, as the reality of any relationship often doesn't match the idealized versions we see on social media. By keeping our personal lives private, we remove this expectation and are free to navigate the complexities of our relationships without the added pressure of being judged or appearing flawless in the eyes of others. Maintaining privacy also allows for a deeper connection between the individuals involved. Relationships thrive when both parties feel secure and understood. When we share too much with the outside world, we can inadvertently dilute that sense of closeness. By keeping our personal lives private, we ensure that we are not distracted by the noise of others' opinions, allowing us to create a stronger, more genuine connection with the people who matter most. Privacy nurtures an environment where we can be vulnerable, honest, and real with each other without fear of judgment or misunderstanding. It also allows for the creation of shared memories and experiences that are exclusively ours, something that cannot be tainted by outside influence. Another important consideration when keeping our relationships private is the protection of the people involved. In our social media-driven world, it's common to see couples, families, and friendships constantly updating their online presence with details of their lives. While this may seem harmless, it can inadvertently put those we care about in uncomfortable or vulnerable situations. Not everyone wants to be in the spotlight or have their personal life shared with the world, even if their connection with us is important. By respecting their wishes for privacy, we show that we honor their boundaries and protect their sense of security. We give them the space to live their lives without feeling exposed or pressured by the expectations that come with constant public visibility. Lastly, keeping relationships private also helps to protect our peace. In an increasingly noisy world, we are constantly bombarded by information, opinions, and advice. The more we share about our relationships, the more we invite others into our personal space, often without realizing the toll it can take. Having a private space free from the opinions of others allows us to preserve our mental and emotional well-being. It gives us the chance to experience joy, struggle, and growth without being constantly concerned about how others perceive us. This peace allows us to nurture our relationships in a way that is authentic and true to who we are, rather than trying to fit into the mold of what society expects. By keeping our relationships and personal life private, we are ultimately investing in their long-term success and happiness. Privacy preserves the foundation of trust, independence, and emotional safety that any meaningful connection requires. It shields us from the pressures and judgments that can undermine our relationships and allows us to navigate them on our own terms. In 2025, as we continue to live in a world that often demands openness, we must remember that not everything needs to be shared. Sometimes the most important things are the ones we keep close to our hearts, allowing them to grow and thrive in a space where they are truly protected. In 2025, one of the most valuable practices we can adopt is the decision to keep our financial situation private. In a world where financial information is increasingly becoming a subject of public discussion, often through social media or casual conversations, we must recognize the importance of protecting our financial affairs from unnecessary exposure. The details of our income, spending habits, investments, and savings are deeply personal and, for many, the key to maintaining a sense of security and peace of mind. By keeping our financial situation private, we preserve not only our personal well-being, but also our ability to make sound decisions based on our own values and priorities without the influence or judgment of others. First, sharing financial information can invite undue comparisons and competition. In a society that places a great deal of emphasis on material success, it can be difficult to avoid comparing our financial status to that of others. When we openly discuss our financial situation, whether it's how much we earn or what we've accumulated, we risk creating feelings of inadequacy or superiority both in ourselves and in those around us. If we boast about our financial achievements, we may unintentionally alienate or cause resentment in others who may not be in the same position. Conversely, if we share struggles, we may open ourselves to pity or judgment from people who don't understand our circumstances fully. Either way, financial transparency can lead to negative emotions that detract from our overall peace of mind and focus. In addition, the more we share about our finances, the more we expose ourselves to potential exploitation. There are always individuals who, upon learning about our financial standing, may try to take advantage of the situation. Whether it's a friend or acquaintance asking for a loan or a business opportunity that promises easy profits, revealing too much about our finances can make us vulnerable to opportunists. It's important to recognize that not everyone who knows about our financial status will have our best interests at heart. Keeping financial matters private shields us from unsolicited requests and manipulative schemes, allowing us to make decisions that are aligned with our own goals rather than those of others. Another reason to maintain financial privacy is the need to stay focused on our personal goals and values. When we become too involved in discussing our financial situation with others, we risk losing sight of what truly matters to us. Financial success is often subjective, and different people define it in different ways. Some may prioritize accumulating wealth, while others may value financial independence or the ability to support causes they care about. The opinions of others can easily distract us from our true financial goals, pushing us to make decisions based on comparison or external expectations rather than our own values. By keeping our financial situation private, we allow ourselves the space to set our own goals without interference and to work towards them without the pressure of living up to someone else's standard of success. Additionally, by keeping our finances private, we reduce the likelihood of overspending or making impulsive financial decisions based on the desire to impress others. When we openly discuss our income, wealth, or possessions, it can create a sense of competition. The temptation to keep up with others or to present an image of success can lead to unhealthy financial habits, such as overspending or accumulating debt. Keeping our finances private allows us to focus on living within our means and making choices that are in alignment with our own long-term financial stability rather than reacting to the influence of others. It gives us the freedom to make decisions that reflect our priorities, such as saving for the future, investing in meaningful experiences, or supporting the causes we care about without feeling the need to impress others with outward displays of wealth. Financial privacy also plays a crucial role in reducing stress and anxiety. The more we share about our financial struggles, the more we risk inviting sympathy or judgment. Not everyone will understand the complexities of our situation, and well-meaning comments can often add to our stress rather than alleviate it. By keeping financial matters private, we avoid opening ourselves up to the opinions of others, which can often lead to feelings of shame or inadequacy. Financial challenges are an inevitable part of life, but when we face them privately, we give ourselves the space to address them without external pressure. We can seek help from professionals, trusted friends, or family members on our own terms, ensuring that the support we receive is appropriate for our unique circumstances. Another important benefit of financial privacy is the ability to protect our financial security. Sharing too much about our income, assets, or savings can expose us to risks, including identity theft or fraud. There are people who will use this information to manipulate or target us for financial gain. By keeping our finances private, we limit the opportunities for these individuals to exploit us. Our financial security is one of the most important aspects of our overall well-being, and protecting it from external interference is crucial. Financial privacy ensures that we are not unnecessarily vulnerable to the risks of theft, scams, or fraud. In addition, maintaining privacy around our financial situation allows us to experience a greater sense of freedom. When we don't feel the need to constantly share or explain our financial choices, we remove the burden of justifying our decisions to others. We are free to make financial choices based on what feels right for us, rather than feeling obligated to explain or defend our financial behavior. This autonomy gives us the confidence to trust our judgment, to take risks when necessary, and to make decisions that will ultimately lead to greater personal satisfaction and success. It empowers us to take control of our financial future, regardless of how others may perceive our choices. The practice of keeping our financial situation private is about more than just avoiding judgment or protecting ourselves from exploitation. It is about creating a sense of security, peace, and empowerment in our lives. It allows us to live authentically and make decisions that reflect our own values and goals. By keeping our finances private, we are choosing to prioritize our well-being, our security, and our long-term success over the opinions and expectations of others. In 2025, let's remember the immense value of protecting our financial privacy. It is one of the most effective ways to create a stable foundation upon which we can build the life we truly desire. In 2025, one of the most critical aspects of maintaining personal integrity and emotional well-being is the decision to keep our personal struggles and challenges private. In today's world, where vulnerability is often shared openly across social media platforms, there is immense pressure to share our hardships with the world. Yet by maintaining privacy around our struggles, we can protect our mental health, preserve our dignity, and continue to find the strength needed to overcome adversity on our own terms. Our personal challenges, whether they involve health issues, emotional difficulties, or career setbacks, are deeply personal and should be treated as such. By keeping these struggles private, we give ourselves the space to grow, heal, and navigate these experiences without external judgment or necessary interference. One of the main reasons why keeping personal struggles private is essential is the preservation of our mental and emotional health. When we openly share our challenges with others, particularly on social media, we expose ourselves to a wide range of opinions, both supportive and critical. While some may offer kindness and advice, others may be judgmental or dismissive. The emotional toll of receiving unsolicited opinions can be overwhelming, especially when we are already in a vulnerable state. By keeping our struggles private, we reduce the risk of external judgment and negativity, which can exacerbate the emotional difficulty of the situation. Instead, we can process our feelings in a safe and controlled environment, focusing on healing without the added pressure of pleasing others or conforming to their expectations. When we keep our struggles private, we retain control over our narrative. In a world where personal stories are often shared for validation or sympathy, it is easy to become a victim of our circumstances rather than a survivor. The moment we publicly announce our difficulties, we open the door for others to define us by those struggles, which can limit our ability to move forward and grow. People may begin to see us only through the lens of our hardships, attaching labels such as victim or broken. By maintaining privacy, we empower ourselves to define who we are, independent of the challenges we face. Our identity is shaped by our resilience, strength, and the choices we make, not by the difficulties we encounter along the way. Another reason why keeping personal struggles private is important is the preservation of our sense of control. When we experience hardships, it's easy to feel powerless or overwhelmed by the situation. By keeping these struggles private, we regain a sense of autonomy over how we approach and manage them. We don't have to rely on external validation or advice, and we aren't compelled to explain or justify our choices. This autonomy allows us to make decisions that are best suited to our individual needs without feeling pressured to meet the expectations of others. Whether we choose to seek professional help, confide in a close friend, or process our emotions alone, the decision is ours to make. By retaining control over how we deal with our struggles, we are better equipped to find solutions that align with our values and personal growth. Keeping our personal challenges private allows us to maintain a sense of dignity and self-respect. Struggling is a natural part of life, and everyone experiences difficult times. However, when we share too much about our difficulties with others, especially with people who may not understand or who may not have our best interests at heart, we risk losing our sense of dignity. Vulnerability is a powerful thing, but it can also be exploited or misunderstood. People may offer advice that is well-intentioned but not helpful, or they may offer pity, which can feel patronizing. This can erode our confidence and sense of worth. By choosing to keep our struggles private, we maintain control over how we present ourselves to the world and protect our personal dignity. We are not defined by our challenges, but by our ability to rise above them, and this can only happen when we allow ourselves a space to deal with them privately. Privacy around personal struggles helps to reduce unnecessary drama and complications in our relationships. When we share too much with others, we invite them into our personal lives in ways that can complicate our interactions. Well-meaning friends or family members may feel the need to offer unsolicited advice, or they may worry about us in ways that create additional stress. The more we reveal about our struggles, the more we open ourselves to the opinions and interference of others. This can lead to miscommunications, misunderstandings, or even resentment. By keeping our difficulties private, we simplify our relationships, allowing them to remain focused on mutual support and connection rather than being weighed down by constant discussions of problems or crises. It's not about hiding the truth from those we care about, but about allowing ourselves the privacy and space to work through our issues without feeling the need to bring others into our emotional processes unnecessarily. Keeping personal struggles private also allows us to cultivate resilience and problem-solving skills. When we face difficulties, the natural inclination may be to seek help or share our struggles with others. However, by keeping our challenges private, we give ourselves the opportunity to work through them independently, building the resilience and skills necessary to overcome adversity. Each challenge we face is an opportunity to grow stronger, and by maintaining privacy, we create an environment where we are empowered to take ownership of our problems and find solutions that work for us. This not only builds our confidence, but also reinforces our belief in our ability to handle life's difficulties without relying on external validation or support. Lastly, privacy around personal struggles creates the space for introspection and self-discovery. When we are in the midst of a difficult situation, it can be easy to seek external opinions or advice. However, it's often in the quiet moments of solitude and reflection that we gain the clarity and insight needed to move forward. By keeping our struggles private, we allow ourselves the time and space to process our emotions, reflect on the lessons we can learn, and develop the inner strength needed to persevere. This introspective journey is an essential part of personal growth, and it can only occur when we are not distracted by the opinions of others or the need to constantly explain ourselves. Keeping our personal struggles private is an act of self-care and self-respect. It allows us to protect our mental and emotional health, maintain control over our narrative, and preserve our sense of dignity and resilience. In a world where vulnerability is often shared openly, it can be difficult to resist the urge to share our hardships. However, by maintaining privacy around our struggles, we empower ourselves to navigate life's challenges with grace, strength, and confidence. This not only helps us to overcome difficulties, but also ensures that we are able to grow and evolve in a way that is authentic and true to who we are. In 2025, let's embrace the power of privacy as a tool for personal healing, growth, and resilience. In 2025, one of the most crucial aspects of maintaining a sense of personal integrity and well-being is the decision to keep our relationships private. Relationships, whether romantic, familial, or even friendships, are deeply personal, and the decision to share details about them with others can have significant consequences. In an age where social media and digital platforms often encourage the oversharing of personal lives, it is important to recognize the value of maintaining a certain level of privacy in our relationships. Protecting the details of our interpersonal dynamics not only preserves the integrity of those relationships, but also helps us cultivate healthier, more fulfilling connections with others. The first reason to keep relationships private is the preservation of emotional safety. Relationships, particularly intimate ones, are complex and vulnerable. The more we share about our romantic lives, the more we open ourselves up to external opinions, judgment, and unwanted advice. Friends and family members may have strong opinions on the choices we make in our relationships, and while their advice may come from a place of care, it can often lead to confusion, doubt, and unnecessary tension. For example, when we reveal the intricacies of an ongoing conflict in our romantic relationship to others, it can lead to a shift in how they view our partner. This can create friction as people who are close to us may take sides or develop negative perceptions based on limited information. By keeping the details of our relationships private, we maintain a sense of emotional safety and control, allowing us to navigate our interpersonal issues without the interference of others' opinions. Keeping relationships private protects us from external judgment and pressure. Society, through media, culture, and even our personal circles, often places immense pressure on the way we conduct our relationships. There are expectations about what relationships should look like, how partners should behave, and how much time and attention we should devote to others. When we overshare details about our relationships, we inadvertently open the door to societal expectations that may not align with our values or the unique nature of our connection. The judgments of others can influence how we see our own relationships, causing us to question ourselves and our decisions. By keeping relationships private, we shield ourselves from these external pressures and are better able to focus on what truly matters to us in our interactions with others. Another reason for keeping relationships private is the protection of intimacy. Intimacy is the foundation of any meaningful relationship, whether romantic or otherwise. It's built on trust, understanding, and a shared connection that is exclusive to the individuals involved. When we disclose too much about our private moments, whether they involve personal conversations, physical affection, or emotional experiences, we risk losing that sense of exclusivity. Intimacy thrives in an environment where both parties feel safe and respected, and this can be compromised when external influences or opinions enter the equation. If we constantly share details of our relationship with others, we diminish the sacredness of those moments and potentially strain the connection between ourselves and our partner. By keeping our relationships private, we protect the intimacy that makes those bonds special and meaningful, allowing us to nurture them without outside interference. Privacy in relationships also helps to maintain personal boundaries. When we reveal too much about our relationships to others, we risk blurring the lines between our private life and the outside world. Personal boundaries are essential in maintaining healthy relationships as they help protect our emotional well-being and ensure that our interactions remain respectful and balanced. By keeping certain aspects of our relationships private, we can establish and maintain boundaries that allow us to preserve our individuality and emotional health. This is particularly important in romantic relationships where emotional vulnerability is often high and the need for respect and understanding is paramount. Keeping details about the relationship private allows both individuals to define the relationship on their own terms without the pressure of conforming to others' expectations. In addition, maintaining privacy around relationships allows for greater personal growth and independence. When we share too much about our relationships, we may inadvertently allow others to influence our decisions or our perceptions of ourselves. For example, if we constantly seek validation from friends or family members about our partner or relationship choices, we may begin to rely on others for approval rather than trusting our instincts. This can undermine our sense of self-worth and decision-making abilities. By keeping our relationships private, we empower ourselves to make decisions based on our own feelings and experiences rather than seeking constant validation or reassurance from others. This autonomy is crucial for developing a strong sense of self and cultivating relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Another benefit of keeping relationships private is the preservation of the relationship's longevity. Not every relationship is perfect, and all relationships will go through periods of difficulty or challenge. During these times, it can be tempting to seek advice or validation from others, but doing so can sometimes result in advice that isn't helpful or is based on limited understanding. Outsiders may suggest solutions that don't align with the values or dynamics of the relationship, which can lead to confusion or miscommunication. Moreover, publicizing the struggles of a relationship can lead to unnecessary drama or external pressure that makes it harder to work through issues. Keeping the details of a relationship private allows the couple involved to address problems directly without the added influence of outside opinions, which can foster stronger problem-solving and communication skills. It creates a space where both individuals can address their concerns, grow together, and find solutions that work for them without external interference or judgment. Privacy also fosters trust and mutual respect between individuals in a relationship. Trust is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. And when we share too many personal details with others, it can unintentionally erode that trust. Partners in a relationship should feel secure in the knowledge that their personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences are respected and kept private. When one partner constantly shares intimate details with others, it can create feelings of betrayal or discomfort. By keeping relationships private, both individuals can cultivate trust, knowing that their bond remains sacred and protected. This trust is essential for the health and stability of the relationship, and it is built on a foundation of respect for each other's privacy and emotional boundaries. Privacy allows for greater flexibility and freedom in relationships. When we keep our relationships private, we are not bound by the expectations or limitations set by others. This freedom allows us to explore different aspects of our relationship, grow as individuals, and change over time without fear of judgment or external pressure. We are able to evolve together, adapt to life's changes, and redefine our relationship as needed, all without the constant scrutiny of others. By maintaining privacy, we create the space for our relationships to flourish and grow in a way that is authentic to who we are as individuals and as a couple. In 2025, it's essential to recognize that the decision to keep relationships private is not about hiding or being secretive, about protecting the sanctity of the connection we share with others. By doing so, we preserve emotional safety, intimacy, personal boundaries, trust, and the overall health of our relationships. Privacy allows us to navigate our connections with others in a way that is authentic, respectful, and empowering, ensuring that our relationships remain strong, fulfilling, and aligned with our personal values and growth. In conclusion, keeping relationships private in 2025 is a powerful choice that safeguards emotional well-being, trust, and intimacy. It allows us to protect our personal boundaries, foster personal growth, and maintain control over our narratives. By keeping the details of our relationships private, we create a space for genuine connection and deeper understanding, free from external pressure and judgment. Privacy empowers us to build stronger, more fulfilling relationships that are authentic and resilient.